Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. So glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. This is often imitated, never duplicated. The New York Hardcore Chronicles Live.
What have we become? United in hate. When did we become a divided state? Don't hate me because I'm not like you. Don't hate me, it's just a point of view. When did we become divided by hate? What have we done? Divided state. Don't hate me because I'm not like you.
What's up? Been a long time since I rocked and rolled. Man, this was the longest stretch since we started the show that we haven't done one. It was a week and a half. I miss you. I miss you all. And I hope you miss me in the show as well. You know? Hey, what's up, Della White? Dola White 13. All right. There you go. Joe Frank, what's happening? What's up, Gary? We're back on. And we're excited about today's show. Got some good friends on. Robert Hogg holding it down in Scotland. I know. Dave Martin coming up from Kansas City for Dave Martin. I'm coming up from KC. Is it up from KC or is it over from KC? For Life of Agony in Jersey next week. Are you going? Which are you talking about? Debonair Music Hall? Because if you are, I just might go, my man. Eric Johnson, what's up, man? Yeah, bro, I'm doing it, man. Film screenings and bro, I'm saving the galaxy from imminent destruction. What can I tell you? What's happening in London, Mark? Good, my London people. Yo, that's right. It is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. It is Arnolfo Gutierrez of Chacho's Tacos. What's happening, brother? Good to see you, and thank you so much for sponsoring the show, man. I couldn't do the show without sponsors. And yeah, thank you, Danny. Yo, you know what? How about shout out to Danny? He's got a new book out called It Blows My Mind. Danny Marianino. Check this out. It is called It Blows My Mind. Lots of funny stuff. Funny guy. And you could get it at Total Gavone Publishing. Hey, post up where you can get the book, Danny. And thank you for sending it to me. It is a funny book. Danny is a funny guy. Also, I want to shout out Bill O'Leary. Here's the book that I was talking about. I mentioned on a show recently that I love Southern rock. And Bill O'Leary heard this, and he just put a book out of all these, of this Southern rock photos, mostly in the New York area, which is interesting because I was at a bunch of these shows from 79 and 80. I was at Molly Hatchet and at the Garden, Madison Square Garden, and the Outlaws and Marshall Tucker Band and all that, being a big Southern rock fan in my youth. So shouting out Bill O'Leary. I'm still a Southern rock fan. You know what I'm saying? I don't turn my back on music. You know what I'm saying? If I loved it then, I love it now. Maybe I don't listen to it as much. You know, what's up, Chris Hoffman? Yep. What's up, Pavatar? I hope you're behaving yourself in Cleveland, hun. Oh, there it is. Danny Marie. Okay. It's on Amazon. Danny's book's on Amazon, everybody. Support. You know? Support. That said, yes, Victoria, I'm looking forward to this show as well. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, and we are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, The Texas Silver Rush, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Generation Records, 126 Hardcore Clothing, Grunge and Grime Soap Company, and a big shout out to Women of the Pit. This is a very Women of the Pit centric show today. We're going to bring a couple of them on, and we're gonna chop it up. But that's right, Women of the Pit's in the house. Absolutely, Lori Dawn. Hola, Nick. Hola, ¿cómo está? Pepe. Hey, Drew, can't wait for the show as I fight off COVID this afternoon. A lot of people got COVID, man. A lot of people got COVID at the bowl, man. Fuck. It's still out there. You know what? Speaking of COVID, what's up with this guy?
I got no COVID. Hey, what's up? Hey, got to shout out Mick Lambrow. Does some great art in Danny's book.
Oh, yeah, right. That's right. My bad. My bad. Hold on. Yeah.
Okay, that's why I'm here, man.
Nick.
Yeah, he does some beautiful artwork in there.
Lambrow.
Australia's finest.
Yep. Shouting out Long Island. What's up, John Bernius?
There he is. Johnny, by the way, John Bernius was stage diving like a maniac, floating on the crowd at the bowl. I never saw that guy on the crowd so much.
What?
He was everywhere. Him and Chrissy's husband were floating on the crowd. The whole show was awesome.
Oh shit! Long Island guys get hammered and then they they do shit they never would normally do. You know.
That's it, Johnny Bagpipes.
Hey, let's do photo of the day.
Yeah, we got a lot of catching up to.
We're not going to guess. Let's just talk about what it is.
Exactly.
I don't want to play guessing games today, but here we go, ladies and gentlemen. One of many photos of the day. So there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
There does anybody know? I mean, just post the right answer. We'll jump right into it. Let's see what anything comes up.
For those who like green eggs and ham.
Sam, I am green eggs and ham. Yo, Alexa Poli, what's up? Come on now. All right. Hey, Alexa. Here we go. Yes, Gina is right. This is ludicrous. Tell us about this shop, bro.
They just killed it the other day. They were so good. So good to have them at the Bowery Electric. And they just, you know what? This is a band that, we've been seeing these guys since the Sundance days, and they were better on Sunday than I think they've been in the last 5 or 6 times I've seen them. They were so good, and the kids were going crazy. And I did tease Guy a little when I was doing the pictures for hanging his beach towel right on his microphone like that.
Yeah.
But they were so good. They really were.
You know what I like about this photo? I like Mr. Wolf Larry Kelly lurking above.
Oh yeah, look at him right there in the shadows.
He's lurking. Like what's the next disaster I'm gonna get called to sort out?
Oh, I know. He's the cleaner. He gets things done.
Listen, let me say this: if anybody out there has an issue with me or a problem, talk to Larry Kelly first, please. Talk to Larry Kelly, and then this way, by the time it gets to me,
he's the diffuser.
He is the diffuser. Here's another shot from Sunday, from our Back to the New York Hardcore Roots series show last Sunday, and these guys finally got a chance to play.
Ah, yes.
Right?
Daija.
They were heavy, man.
They were heavy. Which I was, you know what? And he's like the quietest, nicest guy. That man, by the way, makes he makes all of our awesome the murals for all of our shows. He paints all the murals.
Right.
And those guys crushed it. They were so good. They really were. I mean, we're really lucky that our crowd is filled with all these great bands, and they're so diverse too.
Well, speaking of diversity, here's another shot. This is Butterbrain, which is a direct descendant of the band White Trash that my brother did their first video a million years ago. And of course, they're spearheaded by our really good friend Aaron Collins, who we love very much. And that's right. Sally Mae sings, and they have a horn section. And Butterbrain's awesome. They're
so much fun.
Yeah, they're cool, man. They got it going on.
They busted out the Captain and Tennille cover. Love to keep us together.
I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, it was great. They were great. They and the horns joined Ludacris on stage for Earache My Eye.
They did the Chi Chi Chong song Earache My Eye.
Yeah, they were great.
My mama,
Those guys,
my papa
so
done
much
just
fun.
told me because I wear my sister's clothes.
Ba-da-da, so good.
He called
So
me in the
good.
closet with a pair of pantyhose.
Here's some
Yep,
trivia for you.
yep.
What was the name of Cheech and Chong's band when they played that song in Up in Smoke?
Oh wow, that's a good one. I won't answer. Anybody know that? Post it.
I bet you someone will get it. I bet you Paulie Porkchops might get it.
Here's a tie-in right here. This sort of ties in with our guest because I met the singer here through our guest band. This is Tim Shaw singing
Oh
for
yeah.
his band. Fuck it, I quit. You know?
Another great band.
Yep.
And they pulled out a nice cover. Actually, they did a nice cover of Burning Inside by Ministry that night.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, these guys were great. They were really good. We were supposed to play with Fuck It, I Quit at the 1-year anniversary of the Back to the New York Hardcore Roots show that never happened because of COVID.
Yeah,
they were on that bill.
I like Tim, man. I like I like his band too. You know,
and Ensign was a great band too. You know.
Yeah, I asked them about like, do they want to do a reunion show? Was the band at Cheech and Chong called Muff Eater?
No.
Was it called Alice Bowie?
Yes.
Really?
That is correct.
Alice Bowie. Yeah.
Alice Bowie.
Got it. Alice Bowie.
That is correct.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
I would not have got that. Alice Bowie. That's
yep.
That's pretty funny. Here's another one from Sunday from Bowery Electric. Yo, these dudes were hard, yo.
Oh yeah, Extinguish the Code.
This was like all like, this one's about, you know, I trusted you. You stabbed me in the back.
This one's for those people talking shit.
No, this is everyone out there who talks shit.
These guys were great. They were a lot of fun. Yeah, they were. These guys. Just so many good fun bands that night. That was another great day.
But they're hard. Actually, this band here is basically. Why am I drawing a blank? The band that Marlo sings for.
Yes, this is. These guys are in the whole like the DMS
it's the same
community.
Band.
Yeah.
Why am I drawing a blank? Apparition. Apparition.
Yes.
This is basically Apparition. This is Apparition with a different singer. Yep.
Yeah, they were fun. They were really fun.
Yep. There you go. And
who we missing? I think there was one other band, right? We got Ludacris, we got Fuck It, I Quit, we got Butterbrain, we got Extinguished Code. No, that was everybody. We got Dijak.
But I do before we move on here, I want to thank everybody that came out to my film screening the other night in Brooklyn at the Nighthawk Cinema. It was a great event. The Q&A was hosted by Howie Abrams on the right. That is my brother. Next to him, musician Gilly Yallo, my brother who's looking more like me than me these days. my little brother, you know.
Well, you're like Saddam Hussein. You keep your double with you in
seriously,
case somebody.
Bro, he looks more like me now than me.
That man be stoned.
I mean, I'm starting to look like Ben. I'm starting to look like the Thing from the Fantastic Four, and my brother. But yeah, so wait, I have another one. From there, and
that was a really nice turnout. That was a lot of fun.
It was good.
We had a good bunch of people come out for that one.
Yeah, it was great. There you go. Beautiful theater too, you know.
Yeah, good food too.
Yeah, food's good.
Good food, good beer selection. There was a nice shot like this with your guitar player smiling it from the end row there.
Yeah, with Shawnee. Yeah,
that was a fun one.
Yep.
Yeah, that was really. You know what? Everybody came out and represented.
Yeah,
what else we got?
Yeah, that's everything. Yep. So cool.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. You know what? We had. It's so funny in the like the 10 days.
Hey, can I ask you something?
Sure.
Are those mop sticks behind you?
Those are mop sticks. Yes. And lots of latex.
Bro, can I get a couple of mop sticks?
Oh yeah, I'm in the box here today, so this is where, you know. But
that's a couple of boxes of mop sticks, bro.
Oh, I got plenty. I got whatever you need.
You
here.
want mob sticks? We got mob sticks. You want soap? We got soap. Come on down.
Yeah, we got plenty of everything for you here. Our prices are insane, you know.
Right. Come on down.
Some gloves.
What size would you like?
Extra large.
Extra large, absolutely. There you go. See, you're seeing me work here. It's all good.
You know, listen. All I can say is I'm glad you get paid to do the show with me.
And health benefits, a pension, it's all good.
You know, you get paid more to do this show than me. You know.
You know what? And it's a lot of fun.
Hey yo, do you have New York hardcore mop sticks?
You know what?
There you go. Idea. I gotta find the list. Great band name, Mop Sticks.
Mop Stick.
Yo, we're the Mop Sticks.
That's right. When things get big, we clean it up. But you know what? I got a shout out, by the way, our Chachos. I got my Chachos hat on today.
There you go.
You know what? Got to thank these guys for making a hat in a size 8.
Yeah.
For my big giant melon. So. But it was great.
What was
my all-encompassing melon.
Yeah. I will say this about Nunzio, even though we don't speak anymore. I remember him. I have fond memories of him being a pretty funny guy. We had a lot of laughs together.
Yeah,
and that's what I want to remember.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm appreciating him bringing that to my attention, because until he said that, I had no idea that I had such a huge head.
Hey, Vincent Vlada wants to know, what is a mop stick? I will address that. A mop stick is the stick that you put the mop on.
Right. The mop.
All right, hey, let's get going, man. I'll talk to you later.
Absolutely. I'll see everybody in a bit.
All right, bye. You know what? While we're at it, speaking of Chacho's Tacos, this is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Chacho's Tacos, located in Corpus Christi, opened their doors in 2001, home of the almighty Chacho's Taco. They cook up an incredible home-style Tex-Mex food, and this month they're celebrating their 20th anniversary. You know what? Arnolfo, isn't it 21 now or 22? They've been supporting underground music since the beginning, and in their own words, we ain't stopping anytime soon. Touring bands that play Corpus Christi, swing by, get a home-cooked meal at Chacho's Tacos. We got you. The underground scene will never die. Please follow us on Facebook or on Instagram. That said, come on now, Generation Records. Since 1992, Generation Records has been a mainstay of the New York metropolitan area music scene. Today, they offer a diverse selection of new and used rock, jazz, indie, hip-hop, punk, hardcore, metal, blues soundtrack, and reggae LPs, as well as T-shirts, posters, and other merchandise. They buy used record collections and music memorabilia and will pay you top dollar for your crap. House calls made for large collections in the tri-state area. Call or email generationrecords@gmail.com. Follow them on Facebook and on Instagram. Last but not least, before we bring our guests on, 126 Hardcore Clothing is a streetwear brand for restless individuals like you, my friend, who don't compromise. They are about being positive, spontaneous, and true to yourself. For years, they experimented with several printing methods and materials and collaborated with a large number of designers and illustrators, always giving room for fresh perspectives while retaining the hardcore attitude. Get in touch with them. Ramp up your game at www.126clothing.com. That said, let's clear the deck. Let's bring our guests on. We are all excited about this. Let me make sure everybody's behaving themselves. Shouting out Rick Lopez, former bass player of Marauder. Come on now. There you go. Okay, everybody seems, yeah, that's true. Not as big as Craig Ahead. Craig Ahead head. You hear that? Your head is big, but it's not as big as Craig Ahead's, bro.
Is his head big? I never noticed how big his head was.
Yo, he's got a big head, dude. I don't know. You might. All right. Meanwhile, back on the show, let's bring our guests on. Here we go. Hold on. Let me see. Just in case I sit up straight for some reason. All right, here we go. Today's guests are a hardcore husband and wife team hailing from La Ciudad de Nueva York. For over 35 years, he has been the guitar player in the iconic New York hardcore band Sick of It All. As a guitar tech, she is one of the pioneering women in a male-dominated business. Please welcome, coming at us from lovely Daytona Beach, Florida, Pete and Mei-Ling Koller. Hey! All right.
How you doing, Drew?
Hi.
Good, buddy. Nice to see you. Nice to see you both.
Good to be here.
Good call on the Craig head.
Yeah, he was saying that his hat is like an 8. Craig's a 9 doesn't even fit that shit. It's crazy. Hoya
great.
sent him a hat when we were on tour. It didn't even fit. He had to send it back. It's crazy.
That's great. Let's jump into it a little bit. I know, didn't you guys, I know you live in Daytona. Didn't you guys just play in didn't the tour just end in Daytona? Tell us about that, Pete.
Well, it was called Welcome to Rockville, and it was like, you know, a big rock festival, Guns N' Roses, Korn, and all stuff like that. But they put us in Agnostic Front on. So on Saturday, Agnostic Front started playing. People really started getting into it. You know, there was hardcore punks there, but there was also just like the regular rock festival types. And as soon as they started going, people really started getting into it. And I was like, this is going to be a great show. 11 minutes into the AF set, this huge black cloud started coming towards the stage. They cut the power. They had everyone leave the festival grounds. And that's like 50,000 people leaving and seeking shelter. And then that was the end of the show. So like a couple of bands played after that, but it's pretty crappy day.
This was like your first big festival in the United States, right?
Like a, you know, like a rock festival, like a mainstream rock festival. Like we've been on Punk and Drublic and stuff like that. Which caters towards, you know, punks and whatever. But this was like the first mainstream thing we were on. Yeah. And we were ready, you know.
Were you ready to play. Were you on the same day as Guns N' Roses?
Yeah.
Wow. And May, I saw the picture with you and Slash, right?
Yep.
And he didn't want any pictures, right?
Yeah, the bodyguard was like, no pictures. Well, at first I acted like I didn't even see him. I was like, but then I said, hi, would you take a photo with me? And his bodyguard was like, no photos. I was like, okay. And then a few minutes later, he was like, come on, let's take a photo. And then I got to the bodyguard.
That makes sense. You know, Pete, like those, and I remember, you know, those festivals, whether they're here in America or in Europe, they're always such a joy because it's like when you look at it, you go, oh shit, you know, like look who's on the bill, you know, like, I remember, I mean, and you've done a million of them, but I mean, that must be pretty fun when you look and you're like, holy shit, like so King Diamond's on, right?
Yeah. Well,
Twisted Sister, when you saw Twisted Sister.
Twisted Sister, but one of my favorite ones was we were playing Hellfest a few years ago, and that's in France. It's one of the biggest rock festivals, but they mix everything. Yeah. So we show up to our stage and we're getting ready, and May's setting everything up, and it sounds like they're playing Foreigner over the PA. We're like, wow, that's pretty cool. It sounded like it was the CD or some shit. It was so good. Right. But it was actually Foreigner playing before Sick of It All on the stage, and we were just like, how the fuck are these dudes from Queens?
Foreigner was on right before Sick of It All?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it sounded like the CD was playing, and then we came out, we were like throwing flaming garbage cans at people and like going fucking nuts. And we were just sitting there like, this is crazy. It's like, us dudes, and we're going on after these guys. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember, being out with Biohazard in Europe, and it was like, who's on? It's like Fun Loving Criminals, David Bowie, Kiss. We're like, oh yeah.
Yeah. And you get to meet all your childhood, heroes, I guess. Like May was saying, me and Lou love Twisted Sister. All right. And they were doing their farewell tour, and we just hung out. Like me and Lou were on stage, and Dee Snider's throwing shout outs to Sick of It All, and he came over and hugged me and shit. I was like, that's pretty cool.
You know what? You know what? Just so happens it ties in with this photo. Is this what's going on here?
Oh yeah. That was in Italy. So we were playing, and Joe Strummer was going on. I think he was headlining, and one of his road crews said, "Joe, you got to go check out these guys." He's like, and they say that he would just go straight to the hotel every day, but he made sure he stayed to see us, and he loved it. And then right after, I was sitting there playing, I was like, that guy looks like Joe Strummer sitting over there.
That guy looks an awful lot like Joe Strummer.
I was like, and he had his sunglasses on, and he's sitting on the side, like rocking out like that. I was like, wow. Then Lou comes up to me in between us, and he goes, "Yo, that's Joe Strummer." I was like, shit, we better go say hi or something. So then we ran over there and took a picture, and he was super cool. And you see, I'm wearing the same shirt.
Right.
This is the actual same tank top.
You know what? You're like the Jerry Garcia of hardcore. It's like, dude, he always would be wearing the black T-shirt.
Yeah.
So you're like you got like when you open your wardrobe, there's like 50 like
cut sleeve shirts. It's like, you know what you're getting.
Yeah,
if I'm coming here, I got the hair and I got a cut sleeve shirt or a tank top.
No, we can't afford any surprises in this room.
Yeah.
Hey, May, by the way, Rachel Floyd says she loves you.
Oh, I love you too,
yeah.
Rachel.
So
My girl.
Yeah, there you go. So let's get into it a little bit. We're gonna chop it up and we're gonna go all over the place. But how did you guys meet, May?
We met at the gym in the Lower East Side. It was
Crunch.
love at first sight for me.
Crunch or Gladiator?
Crunch. On Broadway.
The big one on Broadway. It's closed down now, right? Yeah.
He smiled at me, and it was that's it.
And my heart melted.
It was like,
Like, Crunch. What
were you?
Hey, what were you doing down in Crunch on Broadway? You weren't living down there, were you?
Yeah. I lived
on the Lower East Side.
Yeah, I lived on First Avenue between 4th and 5th, and May actually lived on 4th Street between 1st and 2nd.
Okay.
And I probably passed her or passed each other like a million times.
Yeah.
So
I
lived there for like 18 years, 20 years, something like that. Long time.
I remember bumping into you in Astor Place, and we had a nice talk that many years ago. Like you were like one of those guys back then that anytime I go down there, you're like bump into you.
I was there.
Yeah.
My favorite thing to do was I would just sit on the stoop Friday, Saturday night.
Yeah.
And it was the best. You didn't need a phone. You didn't need anything because it was all right in front of you. John Joseph would always walk by. This guy would walk by.
Right.
There'd be a fight in front of your house. Someone would be throwing up on the stoop. It was crazy.
Vincent Vlado says, I remember when he lived in Main Street in Flushing. Is that right?
Cherry Avenue, close to Main Street.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Cherry Avenue in Flushing. So you guys meet in the gym, and I guess you guys start dating and all that, and the rest is history. But how did Mei-Ling, how did Tech Life start?
Oh gosh. I started doing merch. In 2002, I started merch, and I already had played bass, so I knew some stuff. One time the roadies didn't make it on time, so I helped out on stage. I was like, wait a minute.
You know what? I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself. When you guys met, May, were you a hardcore gal? Was hardcore in your world?
No, I'm like a hip hop club Southside girl. I mean, I grew up a few blocks from CB's, but we're complete opposites. Like,
tell me when you were kids.
When I was like little, we would run because I grew up on 10 Staten Street when I moved from Queens, and we would run past CB's. So we'd be like, they're gonna spit at us. The punks are gonna spit at us. We'd be like 8 years old running past CB's. So stupid.
And I was probably standing there.
Yeah, he was probably spitting at me.
Yeah, right. You were there with all your tough guy friends from Queens, right?
Get out of here, you little
He
kid.
was so scared. But no, I mean, I grew up in the Lower East Side, so I listened to all types of music, but I was more like a hip hop dancer and house head and stuff like that. Limelight.
So you guys start hanging out and you start getting acclimated to this thing we call hardcore.
I thought, wow, this is fucking cool as fuck. Because I went to like a few shows before, but never so into it. Like,
Remember, I took you to, it was like the fourth time we hung out. I took her to the Warp Tour because our friends in Pennywise were like, yo, come down.
Sure.
So I bring her up on the stage, and there's like 20,000 people going berserk, you know, and they were like storming the stage and shit.
Sure.
And she was like, wow, this is really cool. This is pretty cool.
That makes sense. So first thing is like is merch, and you know, as I mean, just for the uninitiated out there, like merch world is a whole universe into itself. It's like
so stressful.
It's so it's like
Yes.
for those out there that may have ever done merch for a band, you know, or know that thing, you know. The next level up from sort of like stand at the merch table, you know, with my band starting out, when you really start doing it out there, it's stressful. Tell us about what merch life when you got to count it, like all that shit.
Anything with numbers, what shirt sells, what, you know, just everything is very stressful. Everybody,
even dealing with the people, it's like, okay, you have a white shirt and a black shirt, and the guy comes up, can I get a shirt? Well, which one? What do you got? Well, there's a white one and there's a black one. Well, what do you think I should get? Get both of them. That's what you should get.
There you go. Yeah.
but
yeah.
I always, as a child, even before I met Pete, I always envisioned my life in music in some way. I didn't know. I thought it was going to be like dancing or something like that, because I would try out all the time for videos and stuff. So I always knew it'd be music. I just never knew it would go this route, like teching and live music and stuff. But I always knew it would be music somehow.
Is this this is a little bit down the line, right?
Yeah, this was in a music store down the block from us that doesn't exist anymore. Hadass took that photo.
Oh,
it was nice.
That was in a magazine. I don't know what magazine that was.
Yeah, I'm looking at the bottom of it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was nice. That was my first ever.
That's a great picture
in a magazine.
That's a great picture.
Nice. This is my first interview ever. So thank you.
Listen, we break new ground on this show. Fear not, young lass. Tell us about what's going on here.
That is my first tour ever in 2002. We were at West Coast with the Dropkick Murphys. That was my first tour ever.
And you're
having fun, still smiling.
Yeah,
hi.
Looks like you're in the Sick of It All van, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's
Sick of It All is notorious for traveling in a van.
Well, I don't like it, but you know, like we just did this tour with AF, and the drives were so long. It was brutal. It was like, you know, Syracuse to Detroit, and then you play the show. You know, it was crazy. I like buses, even though they're insanely expensive.
Well, I didn't mind.
Yeah,
I was sleeping. I had my own bench.
I remember
Armand does all the driving. Oh, sorry.
Armand does all the driving. Is that right?
Yeah.
He's like the Roger Moret of Sick.
Yeah.
He's like I'm doing all the driving. You know, let the most stressed out guy do all the driving.
We actually popped a tire on the trailer, and he handled it well. Like no one even really noticed.
We didn't notice. We were like, "Why are you pulling over?" Because the tire exploded in the back. We were like, "Oh shit!"
I could hear Armand saying that too. But I remember back in the 90s, Pete. Like, you know, I was with Biohazard, and they were like, you know, 2 buses, the trailer, the catering guy, this and that. And Sick of It All is like touring in the van. And I was
it's the same van as that tour. We rented from a place out in Long Island called Vantastic. So that's
I think the visual is what set me off, honestly. And I remember thinking to myself, maybe what these guys are doing is a little bit smarter, because they're not frivolously spending all this money. They're actually doing it a little more frugally and probably coming home with a few bucks in their pocket, you know?
We try. We
Yeah.
try.
Yeah.
Well, that's,
Hey,
you know,
yeah.
36 years,
Yeah.
you know. The only time we had to get jobs was because of this COVID bullshit.
Right.
So, and now that's over. So good.
Let's get back. I want to shout out Alberto from SSD Control. Says you guys are a great couple. So there you
Thank
go.
you.
You've been endorsed by old school Boston hardcore. You know?
Cool.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Feel good.
Oh, here's a nice shot of you guys here, and thanks for sending me all these great pictures. But I think this seems like kind of early on in the game, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at
That's
those spring chickens right there.
There you go.
Jamie.
Look, I got the same
took
shirt
that.
on again.
Yeah, that's our first photo.
That's the same shirt as. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you know what I think that is? That's that sick of it all tank top you guys used to have. I used to have a couple of them. They were great.
Yeah,
you should bring those back, you know?
Yeah, we're trying. We're trying to find who has the original design. I think it's Steve Reddy, actually.
Yeah.
That's our first official photo. Jamie York took that.
That was at
Ziggy.
CB's?
No, that was at the bar, Mars Bar, I think.
Mars Bar.
Oh, Mars Bar. Yep.
You know, two downtown hipsters, you know, hanging around. You know,
Andy from the Draculas says, "Mom Tech Wife, best in the biz." Andy from Draculas.
Andy, what's up? Such a good band. I love them.
Let me tell you something. May just did all of Sick of It All stuff and all of Agnostic Front stuff. It's super stressful on this last tour for money that she doesn't usually. She gets a little bit more than she was getting. She didn't complain about it. She did everything. And, you know, and I'm not, of course, I love her more than anything. But she made everything colorful. You know, at the last show, May wasn't at the show in Atlanta. And I was talking to Dimmy, I think. And I was like, there's no color. It's like, where's all the life back here? And he was like, yeah, he says, May's not here.
Oh,
like, yeah.
That's so
and Isaac was like, yeah. He goes, yeah, there's no color.
It was a great tour.
That's you and Mr. Craig Silverman from Agnostic Front, right?
Yes, it was great. I got to do Vinny's stuff, Craig's stuff, and it was just great.
Well, Vinny's got to be pretty easy, right?
Yeah, he's very easy.
He's a nice guy.
He's a great
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
All of them are.
Yeah. It's a great tour. It's a great tour.
What's going on? Tell us about this. I like when pictures tell the story. Tell us about this.
That's my old band, Skizzo Nation. We're just fucking around because it says visualize peace, so we wanted to do the opposite. Visualize fighting. I don't know.
Let me tell you, they were really good bands.
So this is Skizzo Nation, and you produced them, right, Pete?
I played guitar on the demo, you know, because they didn't pick the guitarist yet, which is the girl with the purple hair at the time.
Okay.
And it was fun. And they were really good. I'm sorry, but they were really good. They opened for us at CB's once, and one of my old friends, Sick of It Al, said, he goes, it's like the female Sick of It All, you know. So
I'm more a behind the scenes person. I like working behind the scenes. I'm too shy.
I have a couple of these. Hold on. Here's another one. It's a nice. What is this? Excuse me. Would this be Nikki Sixx's Thunderbird bass?
Yeah.
I think
so. It's a great bass.
It's a Thunderbird, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy Archie gave that to me.
Yeah. Oh. And it has active pickups in it, so it sounds great.
I still have it. I use it all the time.
Yeah.
Pete's trying to use it for the new record coming up.
All the stuff I record, all the new songs, I put the bass down. I use that. It sounds just like Lemmy's bass.
That sounds great. Those things are monsters, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yep. Okay, let me ask anybody. Who else used to play a Thunderbird bass? Better yet, who used to play Thunderbird guitars? We'll see. We'll get some good responses. I know of a couple, but yeah.
That was my first show with Agnostic Front.
Oh yeah. Whoa. We hit the camera.
Sorry. I got all excited.
I told you Once it gets going, it's easy. Here's another. This is CB's, right?
Wow.
Yeah, that's my second show with them and CBGB's. Yeah, we all use
Yeah, that
Sick
was
of It All
the,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah. That's when we
Oh
played
yeah,
with them.
there's the Sick of It All drums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
What year do you think that was?
2003 or 4. It
Got
has
it.
to be 2003.
Look, you're tearing it up. You're like, whoa.
Like fuck you up.
Good call, Al Baril. Simon Gallup from The Cure plays a Thunderbird bass. That's
Very
right.
cool.
And of course, Chris Hoffman, Leonard Skinner.
Oh yeah.
What's his name from Leonard Skinner? The bass player that passed away. It Will Come to Me. Who played bass in Leonard Skinner? And yes, Johnny Winter plays a Thunderbird guitar. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Why am I drawing? Who's the bass player for Leonard Skinner? And I'm drawing a blank. Someone will get that.
I don't know.
Yeah, believe me, it's okay not to know on the show. All you got to do is ask, and again, it goes up a couple seconds later. So started doing merch, and then yes, thank you. Hold on. That would be Leon Wilkerson. That's right. And of course, Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So walk us through the transition from merch slave, tormented soul to teching.
It's kind of a blur, but I know that at one point Pete needed tech, and I was like, he said, why don't you do it? I could show you, you know, pretty much the basics. I think you'd be great at it. And but that's how I started. It wasn't easy though.
Outputs.
Pardon?
Inputs into outputs.
Inputs into outputs. Send it in, return it out. Pretty much.
What is it?
Inputs into outputs. Send it in. Return
Basically,
it out.
that's that.
Yeah.
I got to straighten out our camera here. We're kind of.
I'm telling you, it was not easy.
There you go. We were sinking there for a second.
It was very hard to try to get into the business. You know, those guys were tough. It wasn't like here's a welcome basket. You know, like I had to really work for years and years and years. There weren't many women to look up to, you know, or just to speak to. But we all worked it out, and I learned a lot. I kept going.
She never gave up, no matter how negative things were around, you know, the camp or whatever. Like when she walks on stage at a festival, they immediately see, oh, there's a girl coming, and they don't give her respect. And it's like, she's running shit, you know?
For years, I wouldn't even tell people I was married to Pete because they'd be like, oh, you got the job.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like,
it's like, oh, he's bringing his girlfriend on tour or some bullshit like that. And it's like, no, she knows how to do it.
yeah,
If something breaks, she fixes it.
we got to stop that. Mm-hmm.
You know, if something breaks to the band, it's taking forever to fix it. And it's only a few seconds.
Yeah.
But you have people screaming at you, fix it. What's wrong? You know, it's pressure. And she's just like, okay, you go through the chain and you see what's wrong. And she fixes it.
Yeah, you go through the chain, right?
Yeah.
You go through the chain.
I want to thank Pete for giving me the opportunity to work. He's a feminist. He believed in me. He was like, no, she could fucking do it, you know? And
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. And also, it's really awesome because it's inclusive and not exclusive. And it enables you to spend time together. And also it enables, let me find this other shot. Where is it? Here. It also, I'm assuming, and I know we're sort of poking around here. It also enables you to spend a lot of time with your daughter out on the road, right?
yes, we are very fortunate that the band is accepting of her, and she does really well. I mean, the guys have more tantrums than her. I think in this last run, she only had one tantrum. The guys had like everyone every day. But, you know, I'm very fortunate that she could be exposed to the music. different cultures, different people, you know.
The best thing is her, when she has to take time off from school,
Right.
the teachers are like, oh, you're going to Europe. It's better than just, talking about going to Paris and looking at pictures. She's been there. I remember she was saying in social studies class, they were talking about Greece. She was like, yeah, I was there. I was at this place. I was at that place. The teachers were never there, so.
That's her stage diving. Gina took that photo.
Well, is this at the bowl?
Yeah. There's her and Rat Bones' son. They kept diving and stuff.
Yeah.
But look at the joy on her face.
Yeah.
It's like, that's hardcore to me. Okay.
Yeah. For
Even
sure.
the people smiling and shit, that's hardcore. Right? It's fun.
Yep. And like I think that there's an inherent value in kids, getting out there and seeing the world under those sort of circumstances. I know there's a contingent of people that would say, kids should be in school, with their peers and this and that. But having a kid, I think there's an education to be had for a kid to be kind of out and traveling the world a little bit. Of course, not instead of going to school, but I think there's a lot to learn for a child socially to be in this environment. You think, is that safe to say?
Well, she understands that not everyone believes what we believe. She understands not everyone eats the same way. She gets it. People are from different countries. Like, they're not from here. They eat with this, they talk like this.
Right. No, it's really good for her. And just to make this clear, she doesn't take off a year from school. If there's 10 days left at the end of the year and we're going to go to Europe, the teachers are like, okay, cool, no problem. If she misses the first few days of a new year, the teachers know why. They know she's on tour. It's no big deal. And she does her lessons sometimes, but she does them,
Yeah.
So, and it takes away her anxieties and stuff. We have a photo of Lucy drum checking at some festival in Europe, and it's in front of 20,000 people. Okay. So she's not really nervous about stuff like, talking in front of class or whatever, because she's done stuff like that.
And look, and when I'm on tour, I am a mom tech wife. In that photo, she's like asking for like Minecraft money or something. I'm like, can you wait till after the show? She's like, can I get mac and cheese right now? I'm like, can you wait?
What do your parents do? Well, my dad.
That's
nice.
Cool.
It's good. That's good stuff.
As a mom, for me though, it's sometimes really difficult because I have to pick and choose what tours I can take and stuff, because I want her to go to school. You know what I mean? So
unless there's any teachers that would come on the road with us for free, and then she could just, hang with us the whole time. Wow.
I guess the show we just talked about was in Daytona, and you guys lived there. That was like, what's better than that, right? The show ended, and you drove 20 minutes to get home?
5 minutes. So, and that night, Sick of It All and Crown of Thorns stayed at our house. There was like 20 people in the house.
That was at the Daytona Speedway, right?
Yeah.
Here's a shot of me on the Daytona Speedway, back in the Urban Street Bike Warrior days, risking my life actually. Shooting. I was doing one of my Urban Street Bike Warrior films. I did 7 of them in 9 years. But I was at that speedway a couple of times, and this was like for some big freestyle motorcycle event, and I was shooting, and so this is me on and I remember and it was in the middle of the summer, and the track was like 300 degrees, and I'm laying right on it. You
were stuck to the track. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. That track is cool. That's the one that it's banked on the sides. It is banked, right?
Yeah.
And did one of you guys get in trouble for driving on it?
Yeah, Dijon did. He was getting a little bit too close to the bank, and someone pulled him over and said, "Hey, the trailer's gonna flip over."
He tried.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know, I want to take a break and shout out some sponsors. And we'll come back and we'll do T-shirt of the week with Matt Gray, and we're gonna bring on some women of the pit with us, and we're gonna talk about May. You working with some other bands, including Bad Cop, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and this Saturday I'm working with Less Than Jake in Orlando. My friend Matt called me up for a
Is that
one
right?
day. Yeah, it's nice. I like, as I'm getting older, I'm getting more recognition, and I love it. Keep it up.
Cool.
Finally, it only took 20 years.
Hey, listen, it was who do we? It was like when we just had Caves on the show, and he's like, people think he's an overnight success, and he's like, I spent 30 years setting myself up for people to perceive me as an overnight success. It is no overnight success.
Yeah,
That's the perception of somebody from a distance, man. We work hard. We work hard for this,
Yeah, definitely.
I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes, okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, what's happening? This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, and our guests today are Mei-Ling and Lou Koller, hardcore husband and wife, and we are sponsored by The Organic Grill, New York Hardcore Comics, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Chacho's Tacos, Generation Records, 126 Hardcore Clothing, Grunge and Grime Soap Company, and the Texas Silver Rush. It's a jewelry design firm and boutique store located in the birthplace of the Texas country music scene in Fredericksburg, Texas. They specialize in working with musicians in all music genres to design and create unique one-off pieces, well style them for stage, album covers, promo photos, and social media exposure. Their client list includes Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Greg Rollet, Ringo Starr, and of course, Agnostic Front. Information and online sales are being taken at their Facebook and Instagram pages, and of course, www.thetexassilverrush.com. Come on now, Grunge and Grime Soap Company. They're a modern-day soap company with a rock and roll spirit inspired by the music we grew up with. Music is in our soul, from 80s hair metal to 90s grudge and 90s grudge to everything in between. We believe in being true to yourself. Everybody believes in, basically, if you want to be a sponsor on this show, you got to be true to yourself. I'm done being true to myself. I'm done keeping it real. From now on, I'm keeping it unreal. We believe in being true to yourself, no matter who pop culture tells you to be. Grunge and Grime Soap Company. Last but not least, DTFM Vinyl Distro is a record store that specializes in underground music, punk, ska, hardcore, metal, and more. Located in the heart of Fargo, North Dakota's industrial district. Shop in person or online at www.dtfmvinyldistro.com, where the motto is death to false metal. Want to mention to you the next 4 shows. Now that we're back in the New York groove. We're back. We're back before I go to Europe, actually, to screen my new film. We got a minute here. The next 4 shows coming up this Sunday. Greg Hetson from Circle Jerks, Bad Religion, and Red Cross. 1 week from today, one of the stars of my new film, The Jews and the Blues. It's a side trip show featuring Laser Lloyd. This is going to be great. A lot of you that just saw the film recently, became a little acclimated to him. This is going to be a great show. Then, by popular demand, Wednesday, June 15, Satan will be on the show. Ruler of hell, swallower of souls, creator of rock and roll. And then the landmark 200th episode with our old friend, Evan Seinfeld from Biohazard. It's going to be heavy. So looking forward to that. Also, you know what? While we are here, how about the next 4 shows? Coming up on Wednesday, June 22nd, Jeff Altieri from Enrage, Staten Island Represent, Mike Scandato and Joe James from Inhuman. We're talking about the Inhuman reunion. Jeff will be talking about Enrage. They're playing a Bowery Electric show. Wednesday, June 29th, Bob Riley, finally. Murderers Row, Stigmatic Cranial Abuse will be on the show. Sunday, July 3rd, we're doing a Godfather film retrospective show with Don Caprio, the author of Columbo, The Unsolved Murder. He was also a drummer in Scarhead. You know, we always love doing these film shows. We did the one with Charlie Benante from Anthrax, Jaws. We did Dave Nebor from Dog Eat Dog, you know, horror stuff. We're going to do Godfather. It's going to be great. Sunday, July 10th, just announced. Johnny, you know, Johnny from Street Dogs, Roger Moret and the Disasters, Bruisers, True Intentions, and Slapshot. He's out with Slapshot. Will be on the show. So looking forward to that. Yeah, man. Bob Riley's coming up. Absolute. Yes. And Satan. Yes, Ack. Satan will be on the show. We're going to have a lot of laughs with Satan when he is on the show. I want to mention that I am going to be in Berlin, Germany on June 3rd. I will be signing copies at Cortex Records of this book, The New York Hardcore Chronicles, Volume 1, 1980 to 1989. I will be at Cortex Records signing this book. If you would like the book, it is available at www.Stone Films NYC. This is the third printing. It's a flyer oral history. It's a great book. I'll sign it for you. I'll send it to you, and you will enjoy it. God damn it. So, yeah, it's available at Stone Films NYC. While I'm over there in Germany, for those that give a flying fazzuck about things like this, I am going to be in Göttingen screening my new film. The Jews and the Blues will be screening Saturday, June 4th, and Sunday, June 5th. I will be doing a post-screening Q&A with the two executive producers, Robert and Nicole, at Cinema Melius in Göttingen, Germany. So, and then from there, after that, I will be going to Israel to screen the film. And then I will be coming back just in time for this. June 12th, Tompkins Square Park. If it's free, it's for me. The New York Hardcore Chronicles proudly presents the Back to the New York Hardcore Roots music series, Rebelmatic, Enziguri, Silence Equals Death, Cropsy, Fire is Murder. If it's free, it's for me in our beloved Tompkins Square Park. Get your shoes and socks on, kids. It is right around the corner. I think we covered a lot. Oh, you know what I got to mention? This show needs support. It does. I know life is opening up. Everybody's out there. There's not as many eyeballs on the show as there once was. Everybody's not locked up in the pandemic, but the show still needs your support. So please, there's a Patreon page. Please become a Patreon and support the show. It's how we can continue to do this. We must continue doing this. Please join Patreon. There's a $2 tier, a $5 tier. Lots going on. It's our community within the community. There's also a PayPal address there if you'd like to make a donation. There's also a super chat. If you want to, when we do the questions at the end, if you have a super chat, do a super chat for a couple bucks, it comes in color. I can't miss it. You go right. You be right. You'll be up in what piece? In Berlin or in Israel? Or in Tompkins Square Park? Which one? Yes, Bob Riley is probably the biggest hardcore LPs collector out there. Absolutely. That said, there you go. Speaking of Avi, yo, what's up, Avi? I got to shout out Avi, who manages the band Eternal Struggle, and these days is situated in Portland, Oregon. It just so happens my new band, which is actually a mutation of the old band, Antidote NYHC, which is another mutation of Antidote. We, under the moniker Incendiary Device, is playing Crash Fest out in Portland, Oregon, with a lot of great bands, including The Take, Doug and the Slugs. That's happening we are playing Sunday, October 9th out in Portland, Oregon. Looking forward to seeing you out there. So enough of me talking about me. Let's get the walking tour was canceled due to weather. We're figuring out how to when we're going to reschedule it. So we'll let you know when you know. Yes, Avi, you better be there. Fucking coming to your town. What do you want me to do? Set up in your friggin' living room, bro? What do you want me to do? Smoke it for you? So Tompkins. Okay, we'll see you. We'll see you in Tompkins for sure. That said, there is the Patreon address. Please support the show. We must continue our journey with this show. That said, let's clear the deck and let's bring our guests back on. Pete and Mei-Ling Koller. Hey, what are you guys doing? Hey, what are you doing? I want to bring. Wait, you're waiting. I want to bring our friend on. He is but he plays in Incendiary Device. He's the drummer. He's been in a lot of bands. He's a drum teacher. He's going to do T-shirt of the week, Mr. Matt Gray. What's up?
Hey. What's up, guys? How you doing?
How are you?
I'm great. I'm good. I got a shirt ready to go.
Are you going to talk, or are you just going to look good?
You're cutting out. Okay. So
all right. What do you got? What do you got?
Reprinted. This shirt was reprinted a few years back, and I'm pretty bummed about it because I have the original. Check it out, y'all.
Whoa.
That is the original. I wore this for my senior year, and it still fits. It still fits. So, yeah, when you guys came out with it again, I was like, shit, I want to be the only one because I don't know many people who have the actual original one. You can actually see through it. It's pretty awesome. I could see like through the front and everything. So
it's they call threadbare, right?
Wow.
I got class musician when I was a senior, and this was my shirt that I wore. Yeah.
Is that one of the first Sick of It All shirts, Pete? I'm 89.
Yeah.
There was probably a couple before that, right?
There was a few before that, but the ones before that we actually printed in my parents' basement, and my mom would help us do we did painters caps, and
cool.
So anytime we would go play the Anthrax, my mom would be in the basement with us, printing up T-shirts and hats and stuff.
That's cool.
I think that was
awesome.
our first mass-produced shirt. Was that shirt?
Pretty good company. It still lasts.
Yeah,
It's still alive.
Yeah.
You know what I have in the
absolutely.
archive here, Pete? I believe that this is the very first Sick of It All show, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think Craig Ahead got us on that bill, and he was
Youth of Today, Straight Ahead, Crippled Youth, and Sick of It All. $5 at the Right Track Inn in Merrick. No, in Freeport. Excuse me, in Freeport.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
I remember that. My oldest brother drove us there. I just got my first tattoo here, which I was still hiding from my parents. But as soon as I got to the show, I took my shirt off and I was like, yeah, check it out. It was like some shitty little skull. Hey, I was a kid.
Was this you, your brother?
Mark McNeely was playing bass, and Dave Lamb played drums.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was so we did one show with those guys, I think, and Mark kind of was more into hanging out, so he really didn't care, and Dave didn't. All right. In our book, I explain, or Lou explains about Dave, our old drummer. He was a Chinese kid who became a Nazi. So things didn't really work out, and he didn't really want to be in the band. He wanted to pursue his life in Nazism. Jeez. So, but then he became a Marine, and now he's just a regular guy. People do stupid shit when they're kids.
Absolutely. I subscribe to that in a big way. I do. People do dumb shit. Unfortunately, sort of in the day we're living in, a lot of the dumb shit kids are doing today have to do with guns. And especially in New York City, it's unbelievable seeing 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds killing people. I mean, that's dumb shit, but that's something dumb that you can almost never come back from.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah, we're just talking trying to feel cool, trying to belong.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just saying that what we used to do is dumb shit. It has ramped up in a really sad way, man. You know. Hey, Matt Gray, what is this? Scott Travis says, I drove in Matt Gray's trunk on acid to no effects at the Stone Pony. What are you traveling? What are you?
I don't know. I got nothing.
What do you ship? What's going on? I remember
actually,
when Matt used to. I remember when Matt used to like.
Pretty cool.
Go ahead.
I remember actually we came to see Sick of It All. One of my favorite shows was Beastie Boys and Sick of It All, and they went under Alleyway Crew. And Beastie Boys went under Quasar. $5 at the Coney Island High.
Coney Island.
Right?
That was crazy.
Beastie Boys went under Quasar. Right? That was awesome.
We actually did a short tour with them. They were Quasar and we were Sick of It All. We did the West Coast with them. It was really fun.
Oh,
it was a fun thing. Yeah.
That's awesome.
No shit.
All right, hold on, guys. Check out my shirt.
On a van coming to see that.
Check out. This is my shirt.
I got that shirt too.
Check that out. It's got all the bands on the back. I never ever wore this.
Wow.
Yours is a lot cleaner than mine.
I love how it says. I love on the back it says, "No one gets in for free." Hold that up again. That's awesome. Hold that up again. That's awesome. No one gets in for free.
That includes you too, Rat Bones, right there.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember.
That goes over there.
Cornell says, "I remember when Matt used to light his cymbals on fire, and I was amazed. I was like 11 years old." How come you don't do that when we play, bro?
You can't light shit on fire in a venue anymore. I almost set First Avenue on fire in Minneapolis from doing shit like that. The Fireside Bowl, another place I almost set on fire. You can't do that shit.
Yeah.
Like you said, kids are stupid shit, you know?
Yeah. Hey, Pete Scotter says, I used to see, this is Scott from Silence Equals Death, like one of the really great bands that are out there right now. They've really honed their craft. I used to see Pete and Lou at all the shows in the area, even when they weren't playing, and they were always super cool and friendly. You know, and I just want to say that, you know, I think that's gone a long way to, I think the accessibility of you and your brother have gone a long way to your band just becoming just such a beloved band. Is that fair to say?
I mean, we're regular guys, you know, and if it wasn't for people coming to see us, we wouldn't have this amazing life. Okay. I wouldn't have met May. I wouldn't have Lucy, you know, if it wasn't for music and people supporting our bands, you know, so we're really appreciative of it, you know.
That's a good way.
Right?
It's a good way to play it. And right on. And I tell people that, man, you know, have some friggin' graciousness and some humility in this life.
Hardcore changed my life. It gave me a career. Like I would not be here if it wasn't for hardcore. You know? I've been all over the world because of music.
You know, I want to quote you, May. That I read in a you know, and before I do that, you know what? I want to bring our other friends on from Women of the Pit. Right? I want to bring on Gina and Lori Dawn. What's up?
Hey guys,
hi, girls.
How you doing?
Hey.
Look at those smiles, huh? Hey, so here's a quote, a Mei-Ling quote that from when someone asked you any advice to girls and women, and you said, and I quote, "Smile, be nice. Not every girl wants to fuck your guy. Just smile and be cool. You'll be surprised that you meet a lot of cool people." And I thought that was pretty great. I mean, just you want to expound on that a little bit?
I'm a girl's girl naturally, so I always give women the benefit of the doubt, and I always love unity, and I love supporting women. And in the beginning, I found that there was just so much hostility, and I thought, why? You know what I mean? But it's gotten much better. I've been seeing a lot more women, a lot of LGBTQ femme people working at venues and stuff. I just thought, just everybody relax. Everyone is just so uptight. Can we just chill out, have coffees, you know? Just be nice. Just be nice.
I think
it's been sort of an interesting journey for hardcore. You know, I mean, it's probably safe to say that I was around during the first wave, and it was very inclusive to women, girls. You know, it was in the beginning. It was like there was like tons of girls around, and fanzines, and there were fanzines and bands. There was lots of all girl bands.
Yeah.
And then eventually, and this is me speaking here, they got pushed out because of basically the level of violence, right? Because things just became extremely violent. In the pit,
which ruined how big hardcore got in America. It did. It was like you would have your friends come to the show and get in for free, and then they beat up the people who paid to get in.
Yeah.
You know? And it was, after a while, we were just like, what the fuck is
you can't beat up your audience and still make money.
It's so silly.
It's
so we kind of, as sick of it all, we kind of push, you know, that's okay. That's you guys. That's your thing.
Yeah.
You know, and we just kept doing our own thing, and it worked.
Yeah. And Lori and Gina, you know, I know that, you know, you guys, you know, started this Women of the Pit movement. And for the uninitiated, Lori, tell us a little bit about how it started and sort of how it's gained momentum.
It really just started because I wanted people to go to shows with. So it was, you know, I never expected it to explode into what it has exploded into, but it just seemed like a lot of women were looking like May, you know, to make friends and connect with other women who were into hardcore music, because it's really not the normal. It's not like, you know, like you can turn to your workmate and be like, hey, want to go to a Sick of It All show tonight? You know, it's typically not, you know, the thing. So, but yeah, we ended up turning it into something that, you know, highlighted and celebrated, you know, all the women who contribute to the scene, you know, whether it's in the audience, on stage, you know, on the side stage, in the photography pit, you know, just shining a spotlight on us all. So.
Anything to add, Gina? I know you're a big part and catalyst in this thing also. I mean, you know what? Let me, you know, you know, I wish there was a couple more of younger people involved, and I know it's a challenge for me to get young people involved in kind of the stuff I'm doing. I'm assuming it's a bit of a challenge for Women of the Pit. Is that fair to say, Gina?
Well, I mean, our group is open to anybody. You know, it's not like you have to like apply for membership. Like if you're a woman or identify as femme and you go to hardcore shows, you're part of our group. We got your back, sis. But you know, kids are involved. They see us. They see what we're doing, and I hear through the grapevine that they're looking to us to see how it's going, because we are representing all women, and I think we all gain from that, right? Like, look at how Pete supports May and what she does, and how he encourages her, and like, there's really no reason for that not. And when that happens, like, we all win. Like when we lift each other up, we all do better. So
I think it's also like the younger generation of women, it's different now for them. There is, you know, it's like they're coming back in droves, you know, so there are a lot of young girls that do go to the show. So I think that we are a little top heavy with age, in like a certain age range being above 30, because a lot of us stepped back. We raised our kids, you know, we were going to like concerts with our kids. We weren't going to hardcore shows, and everything was all about the raising of our families and stuff. And now you find people, women in their 40s and 50s, their kids are a little bit more grown, they have a little bit more free time, and they want to get back to going to the shows. So it's a big connection for them through our group.
Here's a photo taken by Steven Messina, and I do these Bowery Electric shows on free all ages Bowery Electric shows, right? And I got here's a poster. Here's a photo from Sunday, right? And I gotta say, sometimes I feel like I'm running a friggin' Chuck E. Cheese because so many young people show up at these shows, and if you look at the expressions on their faces, like I'm like the guy that's like hassling them. I'm like the hassler, Meanwhile,
you're the man.
Yeah, but you have to remember when we were kids, that was us. That was us out there on the Bowery, sitting in the street, not giving a shit about anybody. That was us just 35 years ago. Yeah, I love those kids.
I know it, but for as much as a pain in the ass that they are, for me, I wouldn't do it without them. It's like they add such a vitality to the show, and even a band like Ludacris that just played. First thing they said was, that was incredible. We never get to play in front of young people anymore. And like these young kids were, tearing it up, and it's crazy.
Yeah, they were.
But what's interesting? It's a lot of little girls. Like, where are the little boys at? Like, why are all the little girls coming to the hardcore matinees now? Where are the little boys?
Why not?
Times are changing.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
We need that for them to carry on the torch.
Yeah.
Listen, I say we're the little boys, but when they do show up, it really turns into a shit show because the little boys start putting on a show for the little girls, and it gets crazy.
Like we did when we were kids.
That's right. That's right. And I understand that, Pete. And you know who else understands it? Who's the guy who's sort of the patron saint of this stuff that we do, Jesse Mallon. Jesse Mallon, grew up, was 15 years old playing in a hardcore band called Heart Attack, and now he's involved with these clubs, and he lets me get away with a lot at these shows because he knows that, it's important to have a forum for these young people, to express themselves,
Mm-hmm. Very true.
And us old people. Hey, can we talk about the song they wrote? Can we talk about that for a minute?
Yes,
no, it's okay.
Yes. They wrote us a song, and it was so beautiful. And he helped, and it was so moving. It's called Stronger Together.
Mm-hmm.
And she surprised us with it. And she wrote us, it was just a little theme song that we have. And we have a little sticker made up with the lyrics on it. And, it's like a tradition. We want to play it at every show that we, And she even included us. She let us, kind of sing background vocals on it, which was ridiculous. We recorded them in a bathtub.
My bathtub beauty.
The acoustics in the bathtub. That was fun.
So it was me, Gina, and Danielle LePage, and we just jumped into a bathtub at all times.
There you go. May's song and Lori's artwork, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Hey.
We wrote out the lyrics into like the grenade shape, and that Stronger Together has become our kind of our little slogan. That's our
hashtag and our slogan. And we, thank you, Pete, as well, because we dragged you into it.
Yeah, it was great. It was fun to do. It was easy. But, I'm glad you guys liked it.
It was amazing. It was really, really beautiful.
Right.
You have to re-record it.
Absolutely.
Hey, Matt Gray, you want to? What's going on with you? You want to bring us? Are you heading out on the road soon? Tell us about it.
I'm going on a little tour, and Mei-Ling, you were talking about Matt from Less Than Jake. Matt's a friend of mine as well, and I actually met you when you were tour managing for Newfound Glory some years back. I was supposed to be Cyrus's drum tech because I work with bands drum teching. So anyway, I got hooked up with a band called Don't Panic, and we're doing a tour with the Aquabats, Les and Jake, and Bowling for
Oh,
Soup.
cool.
Awesome.
And I haven't been on tour in years. I'm so out of the loop, and I asked my wife, I'm like, it's 3 weeks. You should do it. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, you get paid, right? I'm like, they're paying me pretty well. She's like, go do it. So yeah, I'm pretty excited.
You'll be fine.
3
You're
weeks
gonna do
back up,
good.
3 weeks back. I'm a little nervous, you know what I mean? But it's cool because we're going out to like Detroit, Minneapolis, First Avenue, and I'm playing a couple, and I'm sure you guys can appreciate when you play different cities you've never played. I love doing that because you get to experience different venues, clubs, culture, food, everything,
Mm-hmm.
So,
Definitely. That's one of my
Absolutely.
favorite things of touring is waking up like, hey, where am I? And looking up like all the good pizza.
Pete, do
Yeah.
you ever play a city you've never been to?
We've never been to places like Israel, and I really, really want to go. So the story was we were actually booked into playing there. The whole thing is we're going to fly there. We're going to play the next day. Then the next day was a day off to go sightseeing. The day before we flew from Germany to Israel, shows canceled. Lack of ticket sales. We're like, what the fuck are you talking about? They can't bring you. So, they're losing tons of money. They can't do this. Fast forward 3 days later, we're at a festival, and there's a band from Israel there. And they're like, there was like 700 tickets sold. What the fuck are they talking about? So the guy just stole the money.
Yeah, he stole the money.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
wow.
We were like heartbroken.
We were gonna leave like the night before.
We couldn't wait to get there and see all the religious sites. Any religion. We wanted to see them all.
Yeah.
We wanted to see the beginning of everything. And we didn't see shit.
Man.
And ever since that, we haven't been asked since. So
that's crazy.
Someday we will get
all right. Hey Matt, thanks for stopping by, man. We'll talk soon, and of course we all wish you all the best out on the road.
If you need a tech, call.
Thank you guys. Nice talking.
Say hi to Becky for me. I'll talk to you.
As long as the money's right.
I'm always trying to hustle. Don't mind me.
You know what? I want to shout out happy 20th anniversary to Kavazov and Albina. It's their 20th anniversry. They're two of my patrons. They watch the show all the time. Happy 20th anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Yes, and many more. Kavazov and Albina. So there you go. Tell us, May, about what's going on here. Boom.
Oh, my girls. This is the last day in Arizona. The lady in the middle is from Venomous Pinks. We stayed at her house, and this is our farewell photo. Bad cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
Bad cop.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Tell us about like what's different going out on the road with a bunch of gals as opposed to a bunch of Neanderthals.
I love my girls. They ask me, how you doing? How'd you sleep? They bring me coffee. I told Pete, you guys don't fucking ask me how I'm doing, how I slept, or bring me coffee.
I do.
Well, he does. It's great. I love them. Like, you could talk about shopping and your new sweater, and no one looks at you weird. We have fun. Let me tell you, I love them.
Is this the whole crew from the tour?
This is the Draculas, Fea, and Bad Cop, Bad Cop. Yes.
Wow.
Fea is amazing. I love touring with Bad Cop because they try to always include a lot of women in the band and opening acts and stuff. And Fea and the Draculas were amazing. I love them.
We love Bad Cop too because they're very supportive of women of the pit, and they always set up our banner, and they make it actually a safe space for anybody who is having any kind of trouble at the show, if they're having anxiety, or if they're there by themselves, or just need a little break or somebody to reach out to. They always set up a spot for our banner, and that's the place. So we appreciate.
They're very kind.
And they're a great great bands.
Incredible
Aren't they
songwriters.
signed to Mike's label? Aren't they signed
Yeah.
to Fat Records?
Yes. They're just incredible songwriters.
Those ladies could sing.
Yeah,
My
they're just
goodness.
amazing. I've learned a lot from them. I was like feeling all depressed. I didn't have a job or anything. And they called me and they were like, hey, we need you. And it just like lifted up my spirits. And then they gave me good luck because since then I've been working. So thank you, girls.
That's awesome.
I love them.
Lynn is also a New York hardcore kid. So she's got a New York hardcore tattoo on her leg. She used to come down to CBGBs and matinees and stuff. So she's a hardcore kid.
You know, I'm sorry, I spaced. It's almost dinner time. Raymond Wilkes says, yo, all the love, Pete, from the city of Wayne Gretzky and the county of Voivod.
Oh, nice.
You know what? I remember now. I'm sorry. Venomous Pinks. I had them on an A7 show, and we were super excited. They wanted to do this A7 show, and then the friggin' pandemic hit. And it's like, you know, but
that's okay. You could get them back on.
Yeah. It's you know, it's been I do one a month now. Well, now we do one a month at Bowery Electric. You know.
It's great that you do that.
Of course, Danny would know Venomous Pinks because they're from Arizona, right?
Yes.
Arizona band, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. All right, Lori, Gina, I want to thank you guys for coming on the show. I love you. I love everything that you do, and I'm always glad to be a part of it, man. So
thank you for
anybody you want to shout out, Gina?
No, not really.
And thanks for coming to my screening the other night. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was a really special night, and I was honored to be a part of that. And Gilly is
you know, I got to find a shot of you guys at Gilly Yalla. Hold on.
Like what an amazing journey he has had, and his music is just phenomenal. It was incredible meeting him.
Here it is. I got it right here. Here's a shot of at my screening of the incredible Gilly Yallo and a couple of the women of the pit. There you go. Right?
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, your sister.
Great. Yeah, he's a very special person, very special artist. And if you see my film, you know why. He traveled. They left Ethiopia, walked through the desert to Sudan, and you know, were basically, you know, rescued by the Israeli Mossad and brought to Israel. And you know, he's got an incredible story. You know. Yeah, that's right, Albie. So cool to see these worlds collide, right? That's what we do here. We're like a collider of worlds, you know.
But that's it. Music brings us all together, right? And that's bringing Lucy on tour. Like, she's getting the best education, seeing the world that way through music and how it bonds us all together.
For sure.
So shout out to me and Pete. That's who I'm shouting out.
All right. Gina, see you later. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Lori, you want to shout anybody out?
I just want to shout out all the women of the pit, you know, watching today, everybody who makes our group great, and also New York Hardcore Comics. So the guys at New York Hardcore Comics, they've always been a big supporter of us, and we're doing a show with them soon, coming up on June 11th. So
yeah, who's playing that?
We're starting out with Kirby Kiss. We've got Extinguish the Code, Ache, and Zaguri, and headlining is Scarhead.
Well, that's a women of the pit band right there.
It is.
Scarhead, if there ever was one.
We're all excited about it, so we can't wait.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Lori. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye. Love you guys.
Right. Well, that was cool. You know, friends of yours,
yeah, cool.
Supporters of yours. Okay, let's keep it moving. Let's see what else we got. Is this? And I'm just putting up a couple of my pictures and some of my stuff, but you guys, as in Sick of It All, are heading back out in a minute, right?
Yeah, is this the European one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is Europe. This is looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 20 shows in Europe. Is that right?
Yeah, I think the whole summer we're going to be back and forth over there, which I can't wait. May and Lucy can't come to the first one, but they're gonna come on the second leg of it. So
these look like some great shows. Barcelona,
Mm-hmm.
no, it's gonna be great.
Schweinfurt, a classic.
Yeah. It's such a great place to play.
Yeah,
That's Stefan's place.
There's these places in Europe that are like Stuttgart. You know, it's like it's always on in Stuttgart. You know.
Yeah, it could be a Monday night.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's still gonna be packed.
And then you guys are picking up the Agnostic Front thing in September, right? You're doing a West Coast run.
Yeah, West Coast into Texas and all that jazz. Yeah, it's going to be great.
It was a good tour. It was fun.
Yeah. Watching them every night still gets me psyched.
Yeah.
You know, hearing like as soon as they, start playing, it's just like, wow, this is great.
Yeah, Volt's psyched. They're going. Yep, London, Barcelona. Yep, London. See you in London, Pete. Yep. Any chance for Canada? Well,
with this tour with New York United, maybe. There's a ton of places we didn't hit, so yeah, we just haven't put together any Canadian stuff just yet.
Here's one from the archive here. I just thought it's cool. Is this Don Fury's place?
Yeah. I think that's when we were recording the We Stand Alone 7-inch, I think. Yeah, that's at Don Fury's.
That's the We Stand Alone 7-inch with EK
and
Eddie Cohen, right?
Yeah. That's when Armand was like, he wasn't really sure about, taking the chance to do music for a living and this and that. So we were like, all right, cool. And actually then as soon as this came out, we actually went on tour with Agnostic Front.
Right.
With EK and Eddie. And then after that, both of those guys were out.
It was sort of I don't want to say an odd time for Sick of It All, but it was a different time for Sick of It All.
It was strange,
Yeah.
But no matter what, me and Lou will keep it going.
That's right.
And we were just like, okay, Armand wanted to try something else. At that time, Richie, he left to, because he had a job in the art industry or whatever. Okay. Me and Lou didn't want to stop, so we didn't.
Yeah.
So EK and Eddie were gracious enough to come along for that tour. It was cool. What can you do?
Hey, Ray Hogan, with the super chat, you could ask a question, bro. So post it, will you? Here, let's do a question. We're gonna take a break in a couple minutes, and we'll take questions from around the world. But here's one from Shamrock. Question for Pete. Last week in Jacksonville, North Carolina, Craig was telling me how Sick of It All and Agnostic Front were taking turns headlining, and that he preferred to go on before Agnostic Front. Do you agree, Pete?
Yeah, of course. Of course. You get it going. And some nights AF was so good, we're like, how the fuck are we going to be better than that? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when they do like almost all of Victim in Pain without stopping, it's like, how the fuck are you going to, compare to that? You know what I'm saying?
But it's probably, I mean, not all the time, but nice to go on. And then you can relax and actually watch, relax and see them play a little bit, as opposed to, when you're in the mode of getting ready to play a show, people are like, yo, did you see my band? Yo, when I'm playing, it's hard for me to like watch any of the opening bands because I'm trying to be in the headset of getting ready to play myself.
You're warming up, you're doing your thing. You know.
So.
But I would rather go on before AF every night.
That's great. It's funny I brought up Stuttgart because Hondo says greetings from Stuttgart. And just goes to show the reach of this show. It's great. And that
Hondo has been our friend.
Is that right?
Since like the first time we went to Europe. And we met him. He followed us around on that whole tour.
Tell him about the spam.
Oh, the guy loves spam for some reason. And we even brought him to America. We took him on one of our tours, and when we had a bus, and this is the thing, Hondo has dark skin, long black hair. So he actually looks like he's Mexican.
Mhm.
Okay. So we're in California. We have a day off and talking about doing silly things when you're kids. We made Molotov cocktails and we were throwing them in the street, which is pretty stupid. So of course the police came. All right. So the police take us. We all ran back to the bus and pretended we were sleeping, which actually doesn't work. The police make you get out of the bus.
Oh, you're
So we get-
sleeping? Sorry to bother you.
We came to the door like, hey, what's going on? The guy was like, the cop was like, yeah, that guy has you on video throwing Molotov cocktails in the street. So anyway, they bring Hondo out, and he looks like he's Mexican, and we're right by the fucking border. They're like, give us your papers, give us your fuck. So Hondo hands him a German passport, and it's all in German. They're like, what the fuck is this?
Wow.
He goes, what's your name? And his name is Hans Dieter Kuhn. It's an extremely German name. And they couldn't figure out, like, what is this fucking kid saying? Like, he's a Mexican. Why the fuck is he speaking German? So, and he goes, I'm fucking German. I'm from fucking Germany. And then they're like, oh, okay. So, and then they just let us go because we were just being idiots with Molotov cocktails.
Okay, listen. If somebody wants to put up a super chat, here you go. Pete, Fred Dela Cruz, of course, from Silence Equals Death, great guitar player, great band. Pete, so sick your energy when you guys play. You get some major air when you jump. My question is, what kicks do you own? Been a fan since Blood and Sweat.
This guy goes to the gym every morning around 4:30. He does not stop. He's a monster.
You're up at 4:30?
Yeah.
Today was at the gym at 3.
That early?
He runs. He prepares. He doesn't stop. Like,
see, the thing is, I love playing in the band. Okay. When I had to get a job, I did that because I have to. That's what you do.
Sure.
It didn't matter. I was pulling weeds or whatever, picking up dog shit, whatever the fuck I was doing. But I love the band. I love music. It's not an act when I'm on stage. I'm not like, hey, maybe someone's going to take a picture of me jumping. I don't give a fuck. I love playing. I get goosebumps. When I walk out on stage, I cannot control. Okay? That's why I work out. That's why I take care of myself. And now having a daughter and I'm an older parent, I want to be around for a long time. Yeah. So music and family. That's what gets me going.
We're like the yin and yang. He's like healthy. I'm like, give me that energy drink. Extra cheese.
Yeah. Put Jack
what Fred's asking is he asking about sneakers? Like anything in particular or?
Any kind of good running shoe. Right now I wear Nike. If anyone wants to give me free stuff, that's what I'm wearing. All right.
Yep. There you go. Where is, boy, you got Hondo shook up, man.
He's like, I'm German.
Rachel Floyd says, I thought I was having a heart attack when I trained with Pete at 4 a.m.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, she knows.
See, they're another. See, in hardcore, you make friends forever.
Yeah.
We've known these guys for decades, and now they spend Christmas at our house in Florida for like a week or longer or whatever. And we love having those two here. And she trains at home. So she comes with me in the morning. We train at the gym. The reason I go super early is I don't like people being around, you know. I have a key to the gym. I open up. I put on The Exploited. I put on whatever the fuck I want. I make the gym into what I need it to be. I don't know. I don't need people asking, hey, how's the band doing? You know, I'm there to do something, you know?
Yeah, I get that. Here's one for you, May, from our from RS70, our graffiti historian. What was the first live show you went to?
A hip hop show.
Yeah, I figured as much. Tell us about that.
Oh, Menudo. When I was a little girl, I was like in Madison Square Garden. I think I was like really young, and I was all the way in the nosebleed seats. That was my first concert ever. Menudo. With Ricky in it.
That's cool.
That's great. I saw Menudo with Ricky in it. I'm OG.
I was there. So Menudo was my first, but like Mephistopheles, like stuff like that. I saw.
Yeah, cool. All right, let me do my last sponsor shout out, and let's come back and let's take some questions from around the world. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That's right. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, and we are sponsored by Organic Grill, the Texas Silver Rush, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Chacho's Tacos, Generation Records, 126 Hardcore Clothing, Grunge and Grime Soap Company, and New York Hardcore Comics. New York Hardcore Comics opened in 2013, selling comic books, punk rock and hardcore memorabilia, toys, statues, skateboard decks, tapes, vinyl, and all things horror. We love helping bands push their demos and new tracks, so please stop by and drop off your new music. We have in-store events like Magic the Gathering and Warhammer tournaments, plus meet and greets with bands and some live performances. Open 7 days a week and shipping worldwide. Find us online through Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and eBay. Located at 117 Main Street in lovely Dobbs Ferry, New York. www.newyorkhardcorecomics.com. Also, by the way, Organic Grill. It will be reopening at 133 3rd Street on the corner, right near 6th Avenue. They'll be opening up in a couple of weeks. So we'll be getting our New York Hardcore Comics on. I want to mention that Sunday, June 26th is the next edition of the Back to the New York Hardcore Roots series at the Bowery Electric. And this show will be Sworn Enemy, Inhuman, first show in 4 years, Incendiary Device. It's going to jump off tonight. Blackout Shoppers and Sewage. That's Sunday, June 26th. If it's free, it's for me. The show after that, Sunday, July 24th. Just announced this recently. This is a cool flyer. I like this flyer a lot. This is Sub-Zero, Brick by Brick, Kings Never Die, Dead Crew, and Mad Mulligans. Only the New York Hardcore Chronicles can get away with putting Marilyn Monroe on a flyer. So there you go. And then last, but certainly not least, shouting out, of course, Women of the Pit. They're going to be involved with this one. It is the Run Amok Fest. Woo! It is the Run Amok Fest, co-hosted by Women of the Pit, featuring Leeway, NYHC, Enrage, Staten Island Represent, the Car Bomb Parade, Damn Your Eyes, Necrotic Society, United Blood, NYHC, featuring Sid the Kid and RBNX. That is on Sunday, August 14th. It is 2 stages, 7 bands, upstairs and downstairs. And that is the Run Amok You Schmuck Fest. Questions for our guests, Mei-Ling and Lou Koller, please post them. Yes, come run amok with us. Shouting out Larry the Hunter, yo, 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 what's up? Kings Never Die. Post up some questions. Let's bring our guests back on. Don't be shy, let it fly. Host some questions. I think I mentioned everything. Cortex book signing. I'll be in Berlin June 3rd. I got Germany and Israel screenings coming up. Bowery Electric shows June 26th, 24th, August 14th, September 11th, and October 16th. I want to thank all the Facebook pages that support this show. Yo, on Instagram, let's say for some crazy reason you are not following me on Instagram at this point. Pick up your phone. It's at Stone Films NYC. Follow on Instagram. Find out everything that's going on with this show. What else? Yeah, let's bring our guests back on. Let's take some questions from around the world. Let's see what we got. Hi. Hey, you know what? I got one, May. Are you becoming or have become really acclimated with all these different guitars and everything?
I feel comfortable, but I'm always nervous, and I never feel like I know everything, you know?
Yeah.
There's always stuff to learn, but I'm pretty comfortable, you know.
Who's
Working.
been a challenge to Tech for? And I don't mean that in a bad. I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean that in a bad way.
Oh, you mean like difficult or picky?
Yeah, I
All
don't mean like.
drummers.
I don't mean like who's an asshole. I mean like, you know, who's got a lot going on. Who keeps you on your toes?
Honestly, I'll say no one really, but anytime I work for bands, the drummers are the most particular. Everything has to be perfect. But I'm pretty easygoing, you know. Everybody has something, you know.
Right.
But I'm pretty easygoing. No one really is that.
Okay.
Roadies can't tell. I can't tell. It's roadie law.
Right. Listen, I remember. I don't want to mention names, but I remember certain guys tormenting their guitar techs, like absolutely tormenting them.
You shouldn't do that because
they could be difficult. Like in the beginning, the band's, you know, sick of it all. You know, Craig wouldn't even call me by my name. He'd be like, the girl. But
God,
you know, whatever. The girl.
Hey, did you see the fight with you know?
Hey, pasta. OG.
Hey.
What time does Olive Garden close?
You know, he's the real pound for pound. He's the real champ. All right, so and I say that with love. Here's a question, May, from Tom Jokums. How many guitars does Pete take on tour, and are they all set up the same way?
Yes, he takes 2 guitars. They have Fishman pickups, ESP guitars we take, and Ernie Ball strings, 12s. Pretty simple. He's tuned to D.
Simple stuff.
Yeah.
If you keep it simple and something breaks,
you're tuned a full step down.
Yeah. It actually,
go ahead.
For years we were in E, but as we get older, Lou's voice, it actually falls better when all the music is tuned down.
Is that right?
So, yeah.
You were in the beginning. It was a standard E tuning.
Yeah, like Blood, Sweat, the We Stand Alone, and Just Look Around. And I think Yours Truly was the last record we did in E. And then after that, it fit Lou's voice better. His range hit better. So.
And did you go a half step, or you just went a full step down?
A full step. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Step down.
Does Pete still use ASGs?
What, Gibsons?
Is that what he's referring to? ASGs, I guess.
Oh, ASG actually doesn't exist anymore. That they did a whole bunch of guitars for. They made a Pete Sick of It All guitar, you know, stuff like that. And it was more of a collector's thing, which is really cool. And I thank them for doing that. Right. But right now I'm with ESP and I use Vipers and they're great. And Tony from ESP is a great guy. Mm-hmm. It's like, he'll show you what's coming out and I'll be like, you think I can get a couple? He goes, oh yeah, sure. You know, and he'll just send you new stuff. That's really cool.
We need those supporters. You know, they help musicians.
Here's one from Fernando Faith. Please come to Argentina. I still have the ticket for March 15th, 2020. You had to cancel because Lou got the flu and then COVID lockdown prevented rescheduling. Ouch.
That shit was crazy. It was like I was
like a week before the whole thing started. But,
and I was like 10 hours before I was going to get on my flight. Because I always have to leave early because I have to go Daytona to Atlanta and then anywhere in the world.
Sure.
So I always have to leave way before everybody. And we were headed to Mexico City. And it was in the morning and I was walking the dogs and Lou calls me and he's like, yo, I am fucking so sick. He goes, it's not that new thing that everyone's talking about, but it's the flu. And I know that Mexico is not going to let me in because I'm so sick. He goes, I can't even move. So then we canceled the whole South American tour.
Oy.
And then the week after, the whole world was locked down. And then that was the end of that. But now that things are opening up, we're ready to go everywhere, you know?
There you go, Fernando.
We'll be there.
I can't believe you're answering me. This is crazy, man. Hey, man, welcome to the show, bro. It's called The Worldwide Audience, and it's called The Good People in Hardcore. Yeah, I hope the tickets are still valid, he says.
You got to talk to the promoter.
Yeah, listen, that's not our fucking thing to deal with. So, Nax asks, when are you hitting Australia again?
That was another thing that got, canceled because of this whole COVID thing. It's going to work itself out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We don't, we had South America, we had Southeast Asia.
They just did their first tour in 3 years.
Yeah.
Give them a second.
Yeah, right.
we just finished this one.
But let's play the shows that we already committed to and we're sitting on for 2 years. Then we'll book some more stuff, right?
It's coming. Don't worry.
Yeah,
They'll be
it's
there.
coming. It's coming.
Yeah. And then of course, please come to Denmark. All right. So we're getting to it, bro. Relax.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll speak on behalf of Brooklyn Larry here. Just hi, Pete and May. Pete, it's great you guys have made the trip to Scotland many times over the years. One of my favorites was 2010 in Glasgow with Madball. What a cracking gig. Hope you all enjoy Scotland.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. We love it. Oh, he's Scottish. Yeah, we love it.
Yeah.
We went on
Scotland.
What was that? You went on a ghost tour there.
With Walls of Jericho.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah. Are Lucy's friends jealous of her passport? That's cool.
I would say so.
Yeah.
We always say like, yeah, we're going to take one of your friends with us, but it never happened. Not yet. Maybe when they're older. The kids' parents would be like, yeah, take our kids across the world. Take them to a bunch of hardcore shows.
It's nice when Lou's daughter goes because they get to hang out and we don't even
Yeah.
see them for hours. They're just in their corner.
Especially when we have the bus.
Yeah, it's nice.
Those guys, they loved it. They did a full European tour.
Harass the bus driver when we were all sleeping. They would like run around the bus and all that.
how much fun is that for a kid, man?
It's pretty cool.
Being on the bus and sleeping in those bunks. I mean, that is like I can't imagine, something more fun for a kid. I mean, even as an adult, and I'm sort of assuming the allure is sort of worn off for you, for you guys. But even as adult, I mean, especially early on when I was going out, man, it's like you're a big kid in the bus. It's awesome,
It's very special, yes.
Oh, I do like the bus.
Even touring, I don't mind.
I mean, because you have your own little bed. You want to get away from everybody, just close the curtain.
I remember during the whole pandemic, I was like, I'll walk to a show to work. Like, I don't care if it's in a van. Really. Like,
I used to love sleeping. I used to love sleeping in the bunks on the bus. Like just, when you get in there and the engine's humming, and you're just like,
when you come home, it's hard to fall asleep because you don't have that rocking. You don't have the noise.
Yeah.
All the symphony of snoring.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing to do on your downtime when overseas on tour?
Well, when Lucy's with us, we see all the sights. Even if we've been there before, someone else is seeing it, and it makes you like, oh yeah, you're seeing it through someone else's eyes.
Sure.
Like.
She's like, not another picture in front of a brick building. I'm like, this is a castle.
Yeah. Once she actually said,
so you don't understand. This is where the Beatles played, right?
Once Lucy actually said, I'm kind of castled out. Can we do something else today? Like, yeah, sure.
That's awesome.
As a mom, always have snacks on stage, right?
Right.
Always candy, have extra water, all that stuff.
Paulie says, first time I saw Sick of It All was 1989 at Sundance. Frank Cariola's Sundance on Long Island, opening for Exodus and Leeway. 2 other bands played before Sick of It All. Any memories of Sundance?
Yeah. We had a bunch of great shows there, but that tour, that was the first time. See, we went on tour with Exodus after that.
Right.
And that actually opened up so many doors and brought in so many different people. Because before that, we would play CB's, we would play the Anthrax, which was great. course it's great. That's our hometown and our home fans. But then you're put in front of people who only like metal, and they've never seen someone with their head shaved on stage. Like we look like we were like a baseball team or something coming on stage the way we were dressed, and then we would go fucking berserk, and people would really love it. And they saw the energy. They really liked the songs that were super short and whatever. It was cool. So
in my experience, a lot of the metal kids, even going back, the metal kids seem to be always kind of open to the hardcore stuff. It seems to me, you know, when you tell the stories about hardcore bands playing in L'Amour's, it seems to me like the metal kids, you know, were a lot less sort of closed than the hardcore kids, you know?
Yeah.
Even in Europe now, like when they play Metal Fest, the kids get into it.
Yeah.
They do, because it's like aggression and like.
I think that has a lot to do with the longevity and how popular we are in Europe, is because we would play anywhere. Like in the beginning, we would play festivals and we'd be opening for Bjork. We'd be opening for The Cure.
Sure.
You know, there was a festival in Denmark, and it was like Los Lobos, Yellow Man, Sick of It All, and The Prodigy. And there was like awesome. 60,000 people, and they never left the stage, and they just watched every band, and they went crazy for every band. And it's like, that's how Sick of It All became really popular over there, for open-mindedness, actually.
Yep, that makes sense. Enzo says, I saw Sick of It All in 88 or 89 and 90 with DRI at Detroit City in St. Andrews Hall. Ratbones was going apeshit. Oh, it makes sense.
That was the first show of that tour, and that was our first full U.S. tour. We were getting paid $50 a night. And then we were like, it's pretty strange that we're drawing like hundreds of kids a night. You know, we're getting $50. But whatever. And that was another thing that made our career really kick off. It was like when we would get down to Miami, and there's like 1,500 kids at the show. You know, we were the opening band. The doors would open, they put us on, and those people were in the club, ready to go nuts. We were like, this is great.
It happens sometimes, right?
Yeah. You know? And at that show at St. Andrews Hall, Ratbones was wearing a leopard thong bikini on stage. If you guys wanted to know. That's what I remember.
Wow. Let me see. Somebody just sent me. Let me see what Chucky just sent me. Okay. Let me see. Chucky says, let me read this. Let me read what Chucky, he just sent me a picture. I'm on that album cover in the front, and I'm on the album cover in the front, and I took this one at Webster Hall. He's referring to this. Is this you, Chucky? And this? What is this the back of? What is this the back of?
That's the sleeve of the, I think that's the sleeve of the Blood, Sweat, No Tears record. And that's A Wall of Death at one of the shows.
There you go.
I think that was a Super Bowl. I think. I could be completely wrong.
Is that you, Chucky? Is that you in the Raw Deal shirt up front?
What a great picture.
Boy, Chucky Perez. Yeah. Yo, shouting out Bob Riley. What's up, buddy? Yeah.
What a cool picture.
Yeah. Albany represent. Yeah, Sick of It All, Yellow Man would be sick. Yeah, that would get me out, you know?
Yes.
So
everything was mixed back then, and hardcore was like this new weird art form that Europeans were getting to see, and they were just like, wow, this is raw. And to this day, those people who aren't just hardcore fans, they love everything. They still come to the clubs and whatever.
Here's another shot that he just sent me. I don't know if these have ever been seen or what, but just one more quick one. This, of course, looks like CBGB's.
Yeah,
that's a nice picture.
There's Gavin. I see Gavin.
Yeah. You know? I love looking at these old photos.
Yeah, is that
good times?
Yeah. When you were getting CBGB's back then, you know. Let me see. Jorge says, in Colombia, they got 60,000 people moving. It was really an eclectic crowd.
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
Well, Columbia goes off. We all know that.
And that was a free show that
shit.
the government paid us. And the crazy thing is, it was on like regular TV. Like we came back from the show and we walked into the hotel, and all the regular people at the hotel were staring at us because they just saw us on TV. We're like, oh shit, that's cool. That's pretty cool.
I know we touched on this, but what is Pete's recollection of the Quasar Monkey / Alleyway Cruise show at Coney Island High? It was a secret show. I had a blast.
Yeah, they didn't announce it until like an hour before, but then they actually announced it on K-Rock. I don't even know if K-Rock exists anymore. Yeah. And they said the Beastie Boys are playing at Coney Island for $5. And then there was a line that fucking went all the way down St. Mark's. It was crazy.
Wow.
Good show.
That's a good one.
But then when all the kids coming in were like, yeah, they're going to play stuff off of License to Ill. They only played their punk stuff, which was great.
Shouting out Astoria Lou, says Jason Crackdown on the stage. Astoria Lou, go Rangers, bro. Hopefully, great Ranger game last night. Tied 2-2. Here we go. Only one band has played Grass Pop Metal Meeting in Belgium more often. That's Slayer. So if you guys hang in there long enough, being that they're on ice right now, you know.
Bring it on.
Question for May. What advice would you give any kids out there interested in tech life?
Just like I tell Lucy, I'm like, just play, learn how to play something. I mean,
and smile.
Just try. Start a band. She had a band. It was called Screen Face.
That's a good name.
Yeah, it's pretty cool name. But it's weird that Lucy gets shy. Like it's just me and her and May, and I'll hear screaming to the mic just for, no, she gets all shy. I'm like, we're the only people here. And like I told you before, she's like checking in front of 20,000 people.
If there are any kids out there who want to learn anything, just text me, email me. We can work on it together.
There you go. And for those that are wondering, if you want to reach out to May or Pete on Instagram, it's she's at Mom Tech Wife, and of course he's at Sick of It All. So there you go. What is this one? Well, I got to watch what I ask here. You know, it's like,
you could ask whatever.
Nikki Bullets, our friend. What's the best present May ever gave Pete? Ooh,
Lucy.
Lucy, of course.
My daughter.
Yeah.
The greatest thing ever.
It's great when it all works out.
Yeah.
Do they still on tour do the egg prank? What's that? What's the egg prank?
Egg prank? I don't know. Tell me what it is.
Tell you what is the egg prank?
Yeah, I don't know what that
is. We used to have a can of snakes that we would bring around and like put it in catering and stuff and wait for someone to open it. It was pretty fun.
We actually tried to get Danzig with it. Okay. And this was at an Italian festival.
And there's a guy that's got no sense of humor.
Oh yeah. And he just walked off stage and he didn't finish his set because he was pissed off about something. So we put the can of snakes on the catering table. And we're sitting, and it's so obvious. Everyone's sitting there with their phones, pretending they're not looking, and they're trying to film it. And he just walked by. He didn't fall for it. And the funny thing is, we write vegan jelly beans, so you could, hey, let me check this out.
I know.
It's really stupid, but it's great. And we've had that can of snakes for like 2 decades. Okay, and we still bring it on the tour.
That's funny.
Our dog is trying to get in the room.
Shouting out our old friend Tommy Rat says he remembers the show at Coney Island High. It was totally under the radar. What's up, Tommy? I hope you're well. I think Tommy's down in Florida now. Am I right, Tommy?
Really?
I think so. I think Tommy Rat's down in Florida.
Everyone's moving here.
I'll be down there soon. I go back and forth. I go back and forth now a lot between my dad's in Delray Beach, and cool. I'm with him a lot, and we go back. We go back and forth. That said, hey, it was great having you on the show. It was a really fun show, an Eddie's show. See, May, I told you, right?
It was good.
It's a good time. May, anybody you want to shout out, thank, anything like that?
I just want to just say, you know, give more women support. We need more women playing shows. I counted in the Rockville, there were only 6 acts that had women in it. Like, we need to try to change that. I'm thankful for everyone's help, and keep buying tickets and merch.
Anybody
And for hire. I'm
Give the
free.
ladies
Right.
a chance. Give the ladies a chance.
Give the ladies a chance.
Get May out on the road so Pete could stay at home and take care of Lucy by himself.
Yeah, I got to work on my tan. Like sitting around here. I got to sit in the sun.
Hey,
Can't be on tour all the time.
How did you end up in Daytona, by the way? Was it just by chance, or did you have family there? Why Daytona?
We were touring so much, like 10 months out of the year, and I had a cousin who lived here, and we came to visit, and we were like, what? The rent was like $700 on the beach. We're like, what the fuck? So we just instead of going home to our tiny apartment, we just moved here.
For a while, we kept both places, but what's the use? It was like we were here all the time.
I have fond memories of Daytona Beach when I used to do the the Urban Street Bike Warrior films. I was down there. I shot a lot of stuff there, and it was Daytona when it's not Bike Week is really a nice place. But the Bike Week thing is just insane, man. It's just.
Well, just like hardcore, everyone's older, so the people who come to Bike Week now are much older. So it's kind of just.
They're doctors who want to be bikers for the weekend.
It's more mellow, but now they have Truck Week.
Yeah.
And that's like the 80s spring break all over again.
It's working. They're throwing beers from.
What's truck break? Like what? Like
truck.
the souped up trucks?
Yeah, like actual monster trucks that. Wow. But how many people were here?
Strippers everywhere on all the trucks. I mean, I was like,
people were like burning out all over the place, and it was crazy.
Yeah, we used to get crazy down there for Bike Week when I was shooting, all the, I did the street bike films, and we used to just go off the beaten path and just get crazy. And I shot a lot of stuff, for my films. Anybody you want to shout out, Pete?
My wife, Mei-Ling, she holds it down. She sure does.
Aww.
You should have, like I said, you should have seen her running shit. Sick of it all, agnostic front. Everyone's on stage, and she's getting it done. Roger, where's my mic? Vinny, where's this? It's Craig. Blah, blah, blah. She handles it. She needs more money. She needs more money.
She's been in the mix with the best of them. Vinny Stigma, Craig Ahead.
Yeah.
Just those two names alone reverberate.
And she held it together, and I like to shout out Agnostic Front because, like me and Lou always say, if it wasn't for Victim in Pain, we wouldn't be in a band.
Yeah, you said that.
And getting to hear them play those songs every night, it would actually still give me goosebumps, and I'd be like, yeah, this is great. So
there you go. All right. Well, hey, let's keep in touch. I wish you all the best out on the road, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks for
pleasure.
doing it.
I'll talk to you. Bye-bye.
Take it easy, man.
Well, there you go. Another one in the books. And what a great show it was. I enjoyed it. I hope you did as well. You know what? You know what's next on the agenda? Gefilte fish. Mrs. Adler's gefilte fish. Dinner of Champions. here in New York City. Yeah, it was a great show. And I missed you guys. It was a week and a half. But we're back, and I'm very fortunate and that I have this show. So I want to thank everybody for supporting it. Quickly, I want to mention what's coming up once again. This Sunday's Greg Hetson from Circle Jerks. A week from today is Laser Lloyd, one of the stars of The Jews and the Blues, my new film. Wednesday, June 15th. Come on now, ruler of hell, swallower of souls, creator of rock and roll. I'm talking about Satan. And then the epic landmark 200th episode with Evan Seinfeld, entrepreneur, musician. So That said, thank you. Yes, Gefilta. Mrs. Adler. This should be, actually, you know what? I got to talk to the guys in my band. This should be our next t-shirt. It should be Mrs. Adler. It should be incendiary device, like with Mrs. Adler on it. Hard. Yo, Kenny Clark, what's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Hedson's coming up this Sunday. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Leigh. Thank you, everybody that tuned in. Women of the Pit, of course, always keep doing what you're doing. And we'll see you on Sunday. Until then, do good things and good things will come to you.